Hello and welcome to the Magic of Boots 36th episode. This is Ronnie and I have Shudipta with me. Uh, how are you doing, Shudipta, this weekend?
Yeah, so far a little bit busy. How about you?
Same there. It's summer. It's beautiful out there. Just waiting to be going out basically. But before that, we have a little bit of conversation on this episode. I guess it mostly would be revolving around the transfers that's ongoing or some kind of rumor. Um, where should I start?
Mm, Maybe we can start from PSG because there is a new coach.
Sporting
Um,
director and new coach, yeah.
yeah,
And
so could you?
both of them actually worked on Lille,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So Galtier has been appointed. Do you think it's an upgrade, downgrade? He's not a big name as Mauricio Pochettino, uh, but he has some proven record and some ways of working. So do you think it's an upgrade for PSG?
well, have you watched their chairman's interview so far, or there was an interview from Kylian Mbappe as well, and what they're saying so far, it seems like I don't know, like they wanted to yeah, they want to start a new sort of project, and if they are doing that actually, then I would say it would be a, yeah, well, I was going to say it would be a great signing, I would say, but the problem is that it's not like it's not actually with the coaches. It's with the transfer policies and some of the ridiculous uh, signings and other stuffs around PSG, and also from fan base as well. It's sort of like altogether the whole club culture, and it's quite understandable because like it's only been 50 years, I guess, the club since the club established. So I don't know, like it's not like it's not going to good for the coach if they don't actually deliver what he wants and goes for what they want, the management and other stuff I'm talking about. And there are a few talks going on. For example, there was one signing, like before they did not actually extend the contract of Di Maria, which was actually a little bit surprising for me, because they all talk about attacking players not getting goals in the important matches, and especially in the Champions League against Real Madrid or some other big clubs. There were few falls from the grace actually, like two, three, 4 goals difference was like um, yeah, it was overturned by the other teams in the Champions League. And if you think about that sort of stuff, and we were like all there were constantly targeting some certain players at certain points, and uh, also as well, like undervaluing some contributions from some players like Di Maria, because there was a list I probably showed, and I talked already like twice in two different episodes. Like Di Maria was the probably the second ball winning players for them in last 5 years in Champions League, and they talk about not getting balls and not attacking as much in some matches, or like defending as much, and these sort of players you need. And despite of his age, he is still playing and still playing well as well. So yeah, that is sort of like complicated situation, and I saw those interviews, and everyone is saying like, okay, yeah, they're going to change, and it yeah, they will probably, maybe they
Are we
will
talking
uh,
about? Nasser Al Khelaifi is.
Yeah,
Well, but he did the same thing in 2019. He said the same thing in
yeah,
2016. So what's new?
yeah.
I'm not buying too much of what.
Well, one thing is new that like they are trying to hire a new sporting director and coach who actually has mm, has an experience to bring out players from the root level.
But then again, you're managing here probably the biggest superstars: Neymar, Messi,
Yeah,
Mbappe.
what
So
is
it's
going to
it's a
be the
different
problem.
it's a different thing. Plus Ramos. I mean, who's seen it all, won it all, kind of guy. So it's I don't know. Let's see. I'm not going to buy too much on an interview by Nasser Al Khelaifi. It'll be interesting if uh, Galtier can bring some best performance out of, or how he manages the dressing rooms egos of the players. So yeah, it'll be good to see. But are they going to get rid of Neymar? Do you think?
Well, they're trying. There, there were a funny. There was a funny comment like he doesn't want a bling bling player, and it's sort of everyone sort of like paraphrasing that comment to towards Neymar. And well, if they learn their lesson so far, like hiring some superstar or something like that, it's not like a football project. They can actually learn from Real Madrid as well. Like Madrid, this first Galacticos, they only win La Liga, not the Champions League. Um, so
Well, they
they could
did.
actually.
They did, isn't it?
No, actually, it was after before that, like 1 or 2 years before that.
Like the Zidane goal versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh yeah, there was only Zidane and Roberto Carlos was on the team.
But I think
Uh,
I think
the
they're
Galacticos era begins with Florentino Perez, and he was elected probably in 2002, 2003 at that time. Sorry, 2001, 2002, and I guess Luis Figo was his signature
no,
signing
no,
from
definitely,
Barcelona,
definitely. But
and then Beckham, Ronaldo, and others came, and it was that Galacticos era. But before that Galacticos, they own.
okay, I anyway. So what do you think? Where Neymar is, if they don't want this bling bling football, where Neymar may find
I don't
himself?
see anyone is going to buy Neymar right now. There are certain problems with that, mostly financial situations, and only club that can afford and willing to, probably everyone is speculating that like since the last season they have new owner, they can actually, they maybe they are going to go for Neymar. And even there were rumor about like the two clubs talking in the about this move, but it's all so far rumor. I'm talking about Newcastle. Um, but Newcastle seems to, they they seems to uh, follow sort of like Manchester City's way, a little bit. They are building the club from the
They're
scratch
they're
actually.
they're more looking for a strategic or long term vision.
Yeah, and also like the infrastructure hasn't changed, so like they need to also change, like there are plans going on changing the infrastructure. If you remember, Manchester City was probably in the ninth position when the Qatar, right? It was Qatari owner took the
Oh,
club.
sorry,
And
Newcastle are
no, I'm talking
cities.
about Manchester City.
Yeah, yeah.
So then, like probably from 2000, next year they actually became, um, like 10th in the position, and before that year they were ninth. And after I guess it was on 2010 or 11 they actually declared their youth academy, and from where their player comings, right? Phil Foden, McTee, or Palmer, um, and so many players are coming actually. And interesting fact is that like City actually win probably three of the age level Premier League as well, last in the last 2 years. So it's not only about that actually. So the Newcastle so far, they are actually buying players like who can actually get them to the next step, step by step. Um,
It's a
so
phased
I don't
approach,
see.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a I would say it's a clever and also brilliant approach to the game. And given their coach is Ed Howe is like a tactical genius, like what he could do with that team in short period of time, it was actually brilliant so far. And
So, say for example, if Neymar has to go, what are the options for him
I don't see him leaving PSG for
before the
not
contract
even.
expires?
Yeah, that's a problem. And it
So
there is
now,
another
how
possibility.
do you manage a player like Neymar? Because
There is another possibility is that like after this year's World Cup, there might be a change in his mind probably if he leaves Brazil. Like there were certain hints in the interviews in the last few months that he could actually leave Brazil. And right now actually Brazilian team, honestly speaking, uh, Neymar is not that much needed,
yeah, but again, I'm thinking about PSG's dressing room point of view. If they cannot get rid of Neymar and make this statement as a bling bling thing, it typically indicates kind of his style of football.
They actually offered him to Barcelona, and it's not even possible. So
Should go to eventually should go to Liverpool because that's the club that eventually got benefited of the most of the Neymar saga, right? So should have given them for free just to make more benefit out of it. Just joking around it. But yeah, other than PSG, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Um,
actually, so many clubs are right now in the building phase, and they don't want someone like 30 years old and a little bit
it's not
more
about
injury
even,
prone.
yeah, not about 30 years old. He's more of the life outside of the pitch is what makes him more kind of not really keen for other teams, like players like Neymar. I mean, it doesn't generates the interest of clubs that makes you think how party guy he is, how much party guy he is. So he could be a really bad influence for for young kids coming out from a club.
Yeah, obviously, even like in the media, like there were strong talks against even Kylian Mbappe and his mentality because of Neymar and stuff like that. It was a little bit surprising as well. Also, like players like Xavi Simons, or someone at his caliber who was like who was actually seen like playing for Barcelona at one point at a really early age, but he couldn't make it even to the PSG squad these days. So um, yeah, it would be a bad. How can I say, like it would create a really bad um,
Impact on others.
impression.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar, very similar to
And
Ronaldinho, I think.
and one more thing, like I was going to say, see, th- this could be another Gareth Bale situation, you know,
Yeah,
because nobody is going to pay 40 million million for him right now.
yeah,
40 or 35, 35 probably, yeah.
yeah. That's a
And
uh,
he is going to ask
yeah,
because of his father and other agents and stuff like that. And there are some like rights value also as well. So
it's complicated.
everything is,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like everything included, it's almost like 40, 45 around that number. And no, like I said, like probably Juventus would buy him if it's like 2 3 years ago, the money they spend behind Cristiano Ronaldo. But due to COVID and other situations, and that they spent a trophyless season this year, also probably last year, right?
yeah,
So there aren't so much cash flow going on there as well.
yeah,
So I don't see them actually. And Premier League is all about physical. Uh, I don't see him playing in Premier League.
yeah. The other player that is not getting any kind of deal at this point is Paulo Dybala. Things are stalled, so he's not sure where he's going at this point. Nobody is showing interest because of Inter were really close. Then Romelu Lukaku came in, and they probably cannot afford both Lukaku and Dybala and keep Lautaro as well. So it's um, it's become quite a complicated situation for Paulo Dybala as well as um, obviously.
Actually, for
Go on.
them, it would be how can I say? It would be clever to sign Dybala, because what I have seen from their match against Liverpool, it seems like they missed some sort of like a creative, uh, missed someone in creative zone, you know, like someone who can actually create something. And Dybala is, I so far, if you compare it with Lukaku, I think Dybala is that guy, because Lautaro or Joaquim or anyone can score goals. Even Dybala also can score, but they need someone, you know, like a little bit creative in the final third, and or can connect with the midfielder.
I think it's about money. That's what his salary ask is, and they probably cannot meet that at this point. Um,
Yeah, so far that actually.
and Dybala. There was a lot of rumor that Dybala wanted to contact Barcelona. Barcelona said no or something like that because Barcelona is linked with 34-year-old Lewandowski and for a long time and a lot. I don't want to even go there. Uh, but then
Well,
there's the only
every
offer
every
is
agent is linked to Barcelona right now.
yeah, and there's the only offer from Sevilla at this point, but that's just 3 million. That's what was said. If Dybala lowers his salary, um,
Actually, he can go to Barcelona if he lowers his salary.
no, then Milan might come in. Otherwise,
Oh.
otherwise
Which one,
it's
AC?
AC Milan. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but AC Milan is looking for different profile,
no,
and they are quite.
actually, that would fit them because they're getting looking to getting rid of Prime Diaz.
Oh, okay.
And when we're talking about Inter actually got
Well, he
Mkhitaryan.
can actually play in their central attacking midfield position
Yeah,
if
and
they're
that's
going
the
to
other
play
thing about
4-2-3-1.
Paulo Dybala because one, he gets injured once in a while. Second is that he's not a out and out striker. He's just a second striker, and not a lot of team plays with a second striker. They either play with the wingers or two two double nines or something like that. So it's kind of tricky to find a club. And I mean, Sevilla is not a bad team, definitely, but it definitely looks like he's going through some kind of uncertainty for sure.
Yeah. So far, well, I don't see. I was thinking about if any
There's,
teams are playing with false nine or something like that. Only Tottenham plays something like that.
but again, yeah, Tottenham has
Tottenham has Hurricane. Yeah.
Harry Kane. And even if Kane is not there, you have Heung-min Son, um, and
Uh,
others.
yeah. They bought probably who did they bought? I forgot. They
Kulusevski.
bought probably Richarlison. They are going for Richarlison right now.
Yeah, makes you wonder. But Richarlison is not a bad player. He's a very utility player. He can play in different
Yeah.
different positions, right? Makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, Pogba's move to Juventus. How do you feel about that?
But before that, I wanted to ask you something. Have you seen Pogmentary?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay. My next question, like, do you think it's a good deal, Pogba reuniting to Juventus, Allegri, and you know,
Well, Pogba, when he started like under Antonio Conte, not he didn't start it under Antonio Conte, but his best was under Antonio Conte in Juventus, and he knows the club, um, and the clubs know. I mean, there's a level. I shouldn't say that there is a level, but Serie A, there are certain levels of Serie A that would help Pogba than Premier League. There are times that in Premier League he looked lost. He didn't look, or he was looking for more of a fun. He's a fun-loving guy. It's similar kind of personality you can talk about Neymar, and Syria might be a good place for him to go and discover himself again. But whatever potential this guy had, he didn't actually play according to that for last how many seasons? 4, 5?
five?
Yeah.
But he only played a handful of games. That's the question actually. Like, is he like he actually complained about Manchester United in the documentary? Like, was saying they did not offer him more than he's getting now, getting than actually. Um, so that's why
Why
he
should why should
felt
they,
a
why
little.
should they offer him more when he's not even giving them the output that they want, right? Why should they? Are they crazy? Is the money for free? You know, what do you think yourself, Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? No, no. Uh,
That's true.
I mean, you can always ask, but you have to be careful about what you ask and find a justification for it.
Yeah, that's the problem actually. Like,
These days, I think the most footballers are
it's
spoiled.
hard to buy like hard to sell big players once they have like big how can I say, like big salaries and stuff like that. And it's also like I don't know, if you are a serious player playing football and you wanted to play for your country as well, then it's like they always try to lower these expectations to just to get play, like get a team or something like that. But um, players like probably Neymar, Pogba, they wouldn't care for that actually, or get it Bale in that sense.
Yeah, no,
Actually, he moved to LA today probably.
makes sense.
To,
Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
well, yeah, that's the thing actually. I was thinking Ronaldo is still playing in Premier League, and he was actually seen. Bale was actually seen as a next in the line. from Perez's like perspective, but he's not that guy.
Look, um, Ronaldo, you like it or not, he's a great professional.
Yeah.
He would go and work hard. I'm not saying Bale wouldn't, but there are certain framework he wouldn't, or certain areas he wouldn't go and challenge himself. He loves English language country. The only reason he went to Real Madrid in Spanish speaking country is because he was getting a lot of money for doing almost nothing. He played obviously well for first couple three season. Played actually great and showed you the potential of a guy. But then again, if you get that amount of money without putting that much of work, why would he train? Why would he go and find himself a club that is aspiring to do more? He doesn't have to. I mean, and LA makes total sense. I mean, without disrespecting MLS, LA is a very good side, LAFC, and they've signed Giorgio Chiellini very recently. Now, you can ask and argue that if Bale is on the same category of Chiellini, because Chiellini coming at what, 38 years of age, um, seen it all, win it all. Bale win it all as well in terms of Champions League and stuff like that. But he could get more at his age and the way he, again, it's a comfort zone, and it makes sense because whenever he was talking about Getafe and he's not definitely going into Getafe, that means that he seems himself LA as a better team than Getafe. So again, it's just personal opinion, personal preference.
Okay. There's another thing, transfer, which was a little bit big. Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich.
And look how whole Bundesliga have embraced Mr. Sadio Mane, right? He's been celebrated. He's been marketed very well. So yeah, it's been. I think it's one of the key signings under this administration of Bayern Munich. I think they've done very well to sign Mane.
Actually, it is the key signing so far, since Oliver Kahn took the uh, responsibility of being the director or CEO. I forgot actually which was the title, because but he's the leader now. There were so many stuff going on because of COVID management and other stuff. Also recruitment, and there were difference in the with the senior players like Thomas Muller, um, and with some management stuff. So yeah, it they were actually looking for a fresh start, and yeah, Mane could be that guy. But still, they have the Lewandowski situation complicated, and I don't know what is going on. And in probably a week, they will start their preseason campaign. Um,
Now, is there a possibility that maybe Lewandowski can be loaned out, or Bayern doesn't do those kind of business at all because
Actually, there are only two possibilities so far. I have seen Chelsea is rumored to be interested, and they're obviously. I think Lewandowski also wanted to move to Barcelona, but I don't know like if they're
everyone wants to move to
materializing a.
exactly. Now,
But
Barcelona is a tricky thing.
Barcelona made probably 40 million bid. I don't know, but Bayern probably wants 50. I don't know,
I wouldn't
but
go there and pay 50 million for as great as Lewandowski has been. Doesn't make sense to me. You're just coming out of a financial situation, and you still want to make 50 million out of like to a what? How old is Lewandowski? How long he has
34,
on the top?
33 or 34 around that
Exactly.
thing.
So why don't sign Luis Suarez again? It's free.
Also, Dybala is free. Di Maria is free.
Yeah, yeah. Di Maria has a peculiar situation. I think anyone who is linked to
I think
Barcelona.
Di Maria so far. I saw that news from Mundo Albiceleste, probably this Argentinian newspaper. They probably they're saying like he's waiting for that deal actually. So far, I don't know.
Again,
But
anyone. Yeah, sorry.
Barca was going for Rafinha so far, but right now it seems like Arsenal is snatching that deal,
Yeah, no, Barcelona doesn't have money. Where the money coming from?
and there are still no signings. It's 26th already. The transfer window is going to start at 1st of July.
Yeah. So yeah, no. If we start talking about Barcelona, how many players has been linked to Barcelona at this point?
I don't want to go there actually. Probably all of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and then even for Di Maria, I thought if he's been getting attention from Juventus, it was a good deal. Or if he wants to go to Benfica, something like that. But that'd be great.
I think Juventus deal would be a little bit tricky because Chiesa will be there this season.
Yeah, but you don't want Di Maria to be like once Di Maria starts to play. Chiesa has this problem too of getting injured. He's a young guy, but
Yeah, but it's still early to say. He played only probably 2 3 seasons in the first team. I don't know.
no, he was in the Fiorentina too, and Fiorentina he had that one season he was injured, second season he was fit. But then again, I mean, um, Di Maria looking for Barcelona kind of gives me more scare, to be honest. Nothing else. Uh, but eventually, I mean, I guess that whatever happens, Di Maria would have some kind of suitors. In the same, um, I,
Speaking of Barcelona, like I guess Dembele is leaving. It's confirmed so far, but I don't know. Like there's like I think Chelsea is ahead in the list so far, but I don't see him signing for Chelsea. I don't know.
so where is going? Bayern Munich.
I have no idea. But yeah, there could be a possibility to reunite it with Thomas Tuchel. So
Okay, yeah, no, makes sense. I mean, his salary is kind of quite out of the quite out of the bar of Barcelona,
I
and I
guess
think
it's
Barcelona is
like
doing the right
25.
thing.
Yeah, of course. And there is a salary structure going on. So far, I so probably is from Romano or someone else. Like they're not going to pay more than 9 million for a senior player, and there are actually few. And there were talks with the captains as well so far. But I guess PK or and someone else wouldn't actually take the pay cut. So only to probably Busquets and Roberto is going to take.
I think I've been seeing a lot of Jules Koundé to Barcelona rumor, but again,
No, it's completely it's not possible because Sevilla is asking like 65 million even from Chelsea, so they're not going to get rid of him for cheap. So nobody is coming to Barcelona so far.
yeah, yeah, um, which kind of makes sense. And
Yeah,
at the stage, I mean, what Barcelona
and
don't want is the president himself starts to talk about this guy coming. It's like he's a politician, and the fan base kind of goes around his music. I think that's what is
actually,
not
uh,
doing
the,
any help.
yeah, with the global coverage of those sort of teams, we talked about what happened with Manchester United. There were some like how can I say, puppet fans um, in those two teams, um, in those two clubs, not teams. So they actually dance with everything they hear so far, and that's the problem with this sort of clubs. They are still a really good brand value. Um, I wouldn't say I saw actually that deal, and with Spotify and everything, they will probably earn like they say that like it would be 250 million, but it's like over 4 or 5 years period of time. So he still needs at least and probably I guess uh, 200 and something million to just to cover up um all those debt and everything for this season only. And if he buys a player for like uh, 10 million, he needs to earn at least 40. That's clear. um,
Message.
and
Yeah, clear. Very
yeah,
very clear, Matt.
yeah, and if he wants to buy Lewandowski, which is actually virtually cost, if they offer 40 million, that means like almost
Have to
Barca
earn
equivalent
160.
is like 160. Yeah, so I don't see it's necessary to buy a player, and I guess I once stopped like it will take at least two more seasons to for Barca to at least compete in the Champions League.
So yeah, no, I think thankfully we wrap it up Barcelona pretty quickly. All the
A little bit. Only one news like is Frankie De Jong is leaving or not, because there are rumors in the Manchester's like they
United.
are actually pretty close so far, and Barcelona is not like haggling a lot with United so far, and
No,
United
they need money,
wants, yeah, and United wants Frankie De Jong to be their marquee signing, so, for it,
and
the rebuild.
it's an improvement from Pogba to De Jong for sure.
Yeah, of course. And one more thing is that like De Jong did not actually play in his natural position in Barcelona because of Busquets, so he couldn't actually play in that position and look over or connect. And actually, he's being I don't know, like really great upgrade from McTominay.
Yeah, very, again, very different kind of player, and then also Ten Hag coming in and trying to install his kind of system would be great, and obviously De Jong would be a very key player.
Yeah,
Um, but Arsenal looks very busy, especially with the Brazilian players. Any thought
yeah,
on
they
that?
already signed Marquinhos. What's his name? I forgot the other guy.
Gabriel
Uh,
Jesus?
no, 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 no. Jesus is just, yeah, today they done the deal so far. It's not yet announced so far, I believe.
It's announced. Yeah.
It's announced already. Okay, cool. I was skimming to the news in the morning. So yeah, Jesus Marquinhos.
Rafinha
It's like a,
potentially.
yeah, potentially Rafinha. It's almost close. I just saw the Fabrizio Romano's tweet. So it's so far. I would say it's closed. And there is another one. I forgot which one. I forgot actually.
They were linked with even Neville Molina at some point, and also Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez is still there in talk with Ajax, but Lisandro is a little bit. I don't know. There were actually talks going on with him and Barcelona before. Um,
Again, Barcelona.
no, no, yeah, before the transfer season.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it has broken down, and also he's also linked with Tottenham so far. So like he's coming to uh, London, but which club we don't know so far.
Yeah,
Oh, they bought Fabio Vieira from Porto, and he played really beautiful, like really brilliant last season for them. And it was only for 34 million, so it's quite a cheap deal.
for sure. Um, Talking about Porto, I think Enzo Fernandez have signed for Benfica.
He already signed,
Yeah, for 18 million, and then
but I was actually surprised. I did not believe that he would go for Benfica. I thought he was going to go for like Fiorentina or Inter Milan or some other clubs, but it was surprising for me to see him.
well, yeah, Benfica makes sense because he can play in Champions League, and also River because Wolves were paying that amount whatever River was asking, but Wolves wanted him right away, and Benfica is willing to get him in December with negotiation with River for the Libertadores. So and also I kind of told you that he was in Lisbon and Portugal.
Yeah.
So and also Benfica has very good connection with Argentine players and clubs. So it kind of makes sense from every round, and he'd get a lot more playing time in Benfica than say in a bigger club like
No,
Madrid.
I thought he is to going for some Italian clubs, because like at the beginning of the Argentine season in last January, there were talks actually
Well,
going
there
on.
was AC Milan was definitely interested, but I think AC Milan
Yeah.
is handicapped by the money. So
Yeah, but how much they paid? Do you know?
I think 18 million. That's what. Plus, there are variables of 2 to 3 million, I guess.
Mm. Well, that's actually good for him so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. It's a good developing club, especially for Argentines.
Yeah. Um. What else? We talked about uh, Aston Villa, Chelsea. They're also busy.
Yeah,
Other side of London.
Chelsea look busy, but some of the I mean obviously Tuchel is involved on the transfer strategy and stuff like that, but somehow some of the choices seemed odd, especially like they were. I've talked about Dembele. Uh, Maybe Tuchel knows, but they've done a mistake with the Lukaku thing, and
But
and
Dembele would be different case because of injury and some other things.
yeah,
So
yeah. But again,
pretty much.
it's a huge risk with a lot of money.
Yeah. Also, they are trying to buy Delict from Juventus, and so far I have seen that like they want to involve Timo Werner in the deal, so that they can actually like lower the expectation.
Okay. Yeah. Any thought on Lukaku returning to Inter?
Not really, but uh, I can understand that actually that decision because it's a World Cup um, season so far, and he wants to be at least
Starting
be there. Yeah,
and
in the starting 11, so it makes sense in a way. But there are so many free agents of like from Chelsea's backline, and most of them are linked to Barcelona, and probably some of them made it to, or some of them made it to another clubs. Um, like, do you think Delict is a good choice, given his injury records and everything?
deal it to.
Chelsea again, it's like a 34 or 40 million deals. at least.
Juventus bought him 75, if I'm not mistaken, right? And
Yeah.
so it's a good deal for Juventus. And deal it with a lot of promises. I think he, to me, he seemed to be not as great as someone like, if you compare to his compatriot like uh, Van Dijk, way better
Mhm.
defender. Dillit has its problem, and he's. I mean, he definitely can rescue himself, but the chances are he's how old is he? 25, 26.
No, actually younger than that. 24,
Okay,
25,
not very far off from 25. Um, there's a risk he's injury prone, and then he's not as fast. So,
Yeah,
but
also
again,
like
it's an upgrade from
to,
Thiago Silva, I guess.
yeah, but I don't see actually
But
they
then
still
they have
have.
to find Rudiger replacement, right? So
Yeah, that would be the tough choice or tough deal.
unless
There were
they
few
go
names
and buy
floating around.
Koulibaly,
Yeah, that would be a good signing actually. Good for both of the clubs actually.
yeah,
Uh, there is another name actually came to mind. Lille defender Sven Botman, and he actually signed for Newcastle
that's a pretty good
yesterday.
signing. Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah, and only for 37 million.
yeah, that's a 37 million. I thought it was 35, but that's close. But that's very good signing for Newcastle. I think
Yeah,
you talked about their strategies and how they're kind of
yeah, they already signed Nick Pope for the goalkeeping position.
right. So yeah, no, that's a pretty good window to be honest for Newcastle, and they're doing it fairly wisely. So they're not gone gong ho crazy with the money. they're
Yeah, that's the thing actually. Like with Karen Trippier, Botman, and they already brought Met Target. Target is also like an experienced defender, so their backline seems solid so far. With Pope in the goalkeeping, they actually had a uh, few really silly goalkeeping errors like
yeah
at the beginning of last season. So yeah, it seems like a solid backline, at least for a mid-level club and go forward and something like that. And I think they will try to buy a marquee signing, sort of, like not like in a Neymar way, but in sort of like I don't know, Coutinho type or something like, around that level.
yeah yeah. No,
But who could it be? I don't know.
I like Buendia. I would like to him to move somewhere like that kind of club. But again, Buendia is still not a big name like Coutinho.
Yeah, but he would be effective, I would say. And with Gilmares playing besides him, it would be a little bit. Yeah, it would be a deadly duo in the middle. But they also need a striker, like a general number nine. And I would say like Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be better choice for them
How do
because they
how do
how they
you
play actually they
how do you
want that
rate
football.
exactly? But then Everton, are they willing to sell him?
Actually, there are few things going on with Everton because they wanted to offload the squad.
Hmm.
The current players they actually uh, um, they are paying way more because when they signed those players they were a sort of like a mid or upper mid level team, and now they are in the bottom, and the money actually the Premier League, what does it call, the TV deal,
Right. Yeah.
um, yeah, TV rights actually, like they got a little bit. yeah, that's their only source, as it's divided almost evenly, but still they did not play Champions League football. They are not going to play there, or any sort of European football. So that's one of the problem. There are only like FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So that's another problem. Like three competition only, and they still have like paying huge wages for like Calvert Lewin or Richarlison or so many players actually, and they are trying to build like a hierarchy right now so far. And the there are problems with that actually, finding clubs for those players, but it's not like as big as Barcelona type problem. But um on good thing is that actually Lampard is experienced in those sort of situations. Actually, he when he was with what was the Derby County, right? There were some sort of situations like that actually. So, and he's actually like he actually made some great deals with like some Chelsea players. He bought them for loan. Last season he did the same thing with Dele Alli and Pondevik. So he's going to do some sort of like move like that actually. So yeah, um, that's the thing. They can actually get Dominic Calvert-Lewin, uh, and even cheaper, probably.
Yeah, maybe. There was a lot of interest about New York City striker Castellanos. I know some of the English Premier League clubs because that's a branch of Manchester City club, like Manchester
Yeah,
City Group, and they were promoting Castellanos, and Castellanos has a very good season in MLS too. And but I think he's very close to. River wants to sign him as a replacement for Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Yeah, and because City got Alvarez, so that might be a possibility as well. River Plate was also in talk with Luis Suarez if he would like to go, not go to MLS, but to River through Anzo Francescoli. But then again,
That
we
would be actually a good signing. You know,
yeah,
both of them actually.
yeah, yeah. Actually, it would be a very good signing.
Yeah,
But Castellanos definitely were linked with Newcastle once, and I know that Brighton always wanted to get him. But it would be interesting to see where he ends up. There are you talked about is Leeds still? I mean, I don't know how strong or weak Leeds would look like, but Leeds seem like fairly. I mean, so far, very quiet, to be honest. I haven't seen much.
um, I actually did not actually. Let me check something if I have seen anything from this. No, actually not.
Yeah, they look to be
Okay.
very, very quiet for
Yeah.
some certain reason.
Mm, I don't know like what's going on so far, but they made headlines today because Kelvin Phillips is now a Manchester City player. What do you think of that? Like everyone is saying he's a direct replacement of Fernandinho, but he's not that same sort of player.
But
And
he's definitely a very.
everyone is saying another thing. It's like he's not like a Pep Guardiola player or a profile Pep Guardiola
But
would.
but Pep,
But Pep Guardiola is also changing so far.
yeah, Pep evolved a lot. So
Yeah.
um, it's hard to say. No, he's not Pep Guardiola type player. It's I'm pretty sure he's going to be. Uh, Even Fernandinho, the type of player he was in Shakhtar, was not really Pep Guardiola player, but
Yeah.
he managed. So that's the thing, it's the manager evolves and also the players. Uh,
Yeah. Actually, that's sort of like the challenge, you know. Like, isn't it, you know, playing with different managers and evolving and gaining new skills. And he's only 25 so far and
Yeah, it's
played
very,
more
very.
than 200 Premier League games so far, or around 200.
Yeah, he's a. What I can say for sure, that he's a very, very talented player. Um, a lot of people were talking about Declan Rice, while I think it's. I don't.
And
Go ahead.
well, and defensively, he's sort of like an um,
Version.
upgraded version, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Um, and I think he's going to be a very, very key player. And they've got him under. How much was the deal? 65 or 70?
It's not that actually. It's only 45 plus 3 million add-on.
Okay, so they've done it very quietly. There was almost no news in the media and stuff like that before the deal actually
Yeah,
striked,
yeah.
and that's very good on them. They bought 75 million for Haaland and
Mhm.
sold Gabriel Jesus for 55 million
No,
or
it's
45.
45. Yeah,
So yeah, there, and then Raheem Sterling is on the market too. I mean, you definitely get some kind of like,
yeah. Chelsea is on the. He's on the Chelsea's radar
so 30, 40
so far.
million. So that two players actually would get the cost out of Haaland deal.
Do you think they are going to miss Jesus and Sterling if they leave the club?
Not really.
But for Sterling, you know, like from the start, he's sort of like the marquee players of, like, whenever Pep needed goals, he was there actually.
They're, that's why they've signed Haaland and Alvarez.
But like it's sort of like their first season, and there are speculation about like Cole Palmer, is he good enough for the main team? And so far last season he played 13 games more or
Uh,
less and scored Cole
are,
Palmer
are okay.
uh, and scored three and assisted one. Um,
But there is Grealish, there is Mahrez, there is you know I don't know what is happening
yeah,
with Bernardo Silva. I'm not really sure, but
but
yeah,
Pep himself said but he would like to keep Bernardo Silva.
obviously he's a very good player. But,
Yeah, and
uh,
he's also only 27.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I think
that's
it's
another thing. Like,
a good deal, good recycling process. I think Manchester City is something in their business side. They're developing something.
they are trying to bring up these two players, Palmer and McT. And Palmer is sort of like a, he's seen as a left winger or that sort of position. But he,
And
well,
again, you have
it's,
Phil Foden too, right?
yeah, he's Phil Foden is on the line as well, so he needs to play more game time. And if Starling leaves, there will be more Foding, and also like there is another player they brought last season, Jack Grealish. Uh, so yeah, there are only three position to fill, only with six players, seven players.
Right. So I think it's a good strategy from City. I think they
Yeah,
can afford it, and I'm liking it so far. Obviously, Sterling is going to be some kind of. I mean, it will take time to manage the whole of Sterling, but then I think there are a lot of players who can step up.
yeah. But one more thing, don't you think they need to buy a center back or something like that? Because it was a problem because the season before they played Stones and Diaz in the middle. It worked fine. Like last season they played Laporte and Diaz, and in my eyes, Laporte made some like silly. uh, misses in the big matches, which actually cost them Champions League and could have cost Premier League. So don't you think,
Yeah, I think so.
or
That
maybe a new left back so that Cancelo can play in his natural position? I don't know.
yeah, I agree. But again, then if you don't have the with Pep and his defenders, there are certain things I don't understand always, like historically. Um, but if you are not confident on Laporte, I guess you should sell him while he has the value, right?
Yeah.
But I guess he's gonna give him another season and see.
What about the other transfer rumor? Like I saw one of the biggest from Liverpool today, that the there is only 1 year left in the Mo Salah's contract, and they probably
Won't renew.
won't renew. Yeah, and probably they will sell him if they don't get in some sort of an
I
agreement or
think
something.
I think they want to just extend it just to make it some kind of profit out of it. But again, I don't know. Liverpool is another club that transfer policy is kind of weird. It's not normal. Um, I mean, they could have they've not offered Mane a lot of money, and then they got like Mane got pretty good deal for himself in Munich. Now Salah is obviously getting a his age is definitely.
He's only 30. Uh, well, he's 30.
But with the speed, I mean, obviously after 30, you're not when you're not of 30, you're just going to get not that better because Salah is more of a speedy, is more of a speedy player than anything else.
Yeah. Um,
Any
so what?
any other thing that we missed, like in a big thing? I mean, obviously there are a lot of smaller things we might have missed, but
Rumors and stuff. I don't see any big news so far.
and
So far,
rumor, it's hard to talk about rumors based on like
yeah,
if we
it's
start to
like
talk about rumor, then we need to have like 5 hours only talking about
news.
Barcelona.
Yeah. Only one big news: Christian Eriksen is linked to Manchester United, and
I thought he didn't he rejected it, something like that.
well, so far I heard that like he's waiting, like he's probably talking with his family, and I don't know. It's not it's not materialized or decided anything.
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, if we don't have anything else, I mean, we can definitely wrap it up.
Yeah,
Well,
we can.
yeah, definitely.
I do agree.
Well, thank you. I guess we'll catch up in the next week with something more concrete because I don't want to spend too much time on the speculation and rumors, which may not be.
Actually, there will be Copa Libertadores matches next week. The second round will start probably on Wednesday, on
Yeah, no,
29th,
I'm
I guess.
I'm personally looking forward for Valles versus River and a lot of other games too. So yeah, would be great.
Any favorites so far there?
Not really. I think the Brazilian teams will do well because of the business. Again, it's hard to say. Diego Godin just signed for Valles, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw a picture. But again, Godin, how old is he? 38, 39?
And
Yeah.
he's not like, I don't know.
He's,
Probably he should.
he's not very mobile, but he's still holding a place in the Uruguayan national team, right? So, anyway, on that note, hope if anyone is watching, please make sure you comment, like, share, or interact, please. That would be great. On that note, have yourself a very good day, and we'll talk to you again.
You too. Thanks for the invitation.